Voice of the Week Award. And this week's award goes to Madison Bumgarner. Yes, he does have a funny name, but this guy can pitch. Now, he is the pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He is their ace. And the reason I'm giving him this award is not only did he pitch 2 full starts in the World Series and won both starts. This guy's been spectacular. He's been lights out in the playoffs all year, well, all playoffs long. But he came in last night in relief in the 5th inning and pitched 5 scoreless shutout innings to help the San Francisco team 3-2. Now, so that means he accounted for 3 wins in a 7-game series.
Wow.
3 wins, all him.
In a 7-game World Series.
7-game World Series. So at least the World Series was pretty decent. It actually went 7 games. But Bumgarner got 7 of those wins. So go ahead and give him the Chewbacca chainsaw. 3 of those wins, if I could speak. Go ahead. Yeah, and so we did wrap up the World Series last night. Unfortunately, we were kind of rooting for the Royals. Well, we were on the show until they beat the Orioles in an embarrassing fashion, and then I was just like, no more rooting for the Royals. Be gone, Royals.
And that was their downfall.
That's what, when you don't have words from my face backing you, you go down. That's why Kevin Durant is so lifted up.
Yeah, that's why he got the MVP.
No, he got the MVP because he's all right. Well, we'll save that for basketball talk. But yeah, so they did win, and it wasn't in it was a pretty interesting series in all because the Royals coming in played a bunch of one-run, really close games. I want to say they won their first 8 games in a row in the playoffs. Multiple games of those went to extra innings, and they just seemed to be rolling through everybody, not by blowing them away, but by just doing just enough more than the other teams to win said World Series. Now, the Giants came through in a similar route. Now, they did go a little bit longer with the Nationals and the Cardinals than the Royals had with any of their teams that they played. We all look back at the 18-inning playoff game against the Nationals in the NLDS, so that was pretty crazy. But they both made it there. Now, you really saw coming in here that you had one team with a ton of experience. They had been to 2 previous World Series in the past 5 years, and one team with absolutely 0 experience that hadn't even been to the playoffs in 29 years. So yeah. You saw the kind of...
To be fair, had they been to the playoffs in the last 10 years, it's not like it matters for this particular team that's on the field now, but definitely a city that hasn't experienced being in the playoffs. And there was probably not very much expectation of these guys going there until this year, as I didn't expect it.
I mean, even through the middle of the season, a lot of people didn't expect them to get there, and it didn't look like they were going to make it for a while in the middle of the season. You can look back at some of our shows. We talked about the Royals pretty often until they quit doing Clash of Clans. Apparently, that was all they needed not to do was play Clash of Clans, and then it's all good from there. So, but you did have an entertaining
maybe there was a Clash of Clans update during the World Series.
There actually was one, and they have Halloween theme motifs. Maybe that sucked them back in. They're like, we can't stay away. We can't stay away.
But we're in the World Series. I don't
Clash of Clans. We can't stay away. But we saw a really different World Series than I was really expecting. I was expecting more of the same, one-run games here and there, but it really wasn't that way. Like the first game was like a 7-2 Giants win. Then the second game was a 7-1 Royals win. And there was a lot of lopsided games in there, except for when Bumgarner was in there, and he just won everything. So, yeah, it was an entertaining series. Unfortunately, the Royals didn't get their win, so sorry, Kansas City fans. But San Francisco fans, yeah, you were rioting last night. I don't know why you need to riot. You've been there 3 times in the past 5 years, and you won. So, shouldn't some of the novelty have worn off a little bit? Why riot?
Nope. This is baseball.
If anybody won in a DC town, yeah, we'd riot because we haven't won anything forever, except for in tennis.
Or just celebrate.
You're right. Don't riot. That's kind of bad. But
I've seen,
honestly,
maybe I haven't been paying attention. I probably haven't been paying attention because I turn off the news at that point. But I don't remember a lot of football happening in football a lot where there's riots. I know when City wins the hockey, the Stanley Cup, there are sometimes big riots, and in baseball that happens. but I don't know very many football cities that like riot over the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think I'm calling it riot, but it wasn't really a riot per se. Just there was a lot of ruckusness and some people being mischievous, more mischievous than they should have been. Like there was a lot of pictures of people burning stuff. Doesn't necessarily mean riot, but just means.
I'm being told Pittsburgh riots when they win.
Pittsburgh?
When they win the Super Bowl, Pittsburgh riots.
They're jerks. Nobody likes Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to say that. They win too much. They win Stanley Cups. They win Super Bowls. If you win too much, I don't like you.
Yes,
that means my team's
why we're that's why we're Redskins, Nationals, and Wizards fans.
Yes,
we don't like those teams that win too much.
And Capitals, they don't win at all. So and Orioles, But yeah, so it was an entertaining World Series. I'm glad it went to 7 games because the previous couple games in the playoffs just sucked. So. Rounds in the playoffs. There was too many sweeps going on in there. Just nothing very competitive. So at least this one went 7 games, and it kind of was close. It was a 3-2 game last night, and you had Bumgarner come in and pitch 5 scoreless innings, which was just spectacular. I don't think you'll ever see a pitcher win 3 games like that ever. He was only on 2 days rest and came in and pretty much pitched a whole game. And so, hats off. That's why he got a Chewbacca Chainsaw Award. But let us know what you guys think about the World Series. Was it entertaining to you? Are you a Kansas City fan, or are you a San Fran fan, or are you just not a fan of either, but you're rooting for one or the other? Hit us up. Let us know. Comments down below. Of course, at Words For My Face on Twitter, wordsformyface@gmail.com. Google Plus and Facebook, always good ways of getting a hold of us.